What's up, YouTube? This is my 2017 SSR 110 review. I am sorry I haven't posted in a while. I will make sure to post more. I'm just lazy. But this is my 2017 SSR 110 that I've had for about a year. This is what I think about these 110s. Awesome starter bike. I really recommend these bikes for starters because they have a good amount of power, but at the same time, they don't have too much power. Like, they're basically equivalent to a 125. Which this does have a lot of power. I'm not saying it's weak at all. I'm telling you that this thing has good power, but at the same time, it's great for a starter bike. Because, you know, obviously it doesn't break speed records. Nothing breaks speed records. And this is the model with the quiet pipe. As you can see, it's quiet, very restrictive. But yeah, so this is a good bike all around. I really recommend it. As you can see, this is what it comes with stock for the front tire. Normal front tire, basically. This isn't a 110DX, just so you know. This is not a DX model. It's semi-automatic. It has no clutch. But that's why I say that's one way that helps it for starters. It still shifts though. Got the shifter right here. Which these right here, these pieces, this unit right here, these are pure junk. Sure, they're helpful for when you hit something. It just kind of retracts, but it's not too helpful. And when you're a rider with your shock blowing out, I'm just kidding, the shock isn't going out. That's just from, hopefully from water kicking up at it. So, I got this flush with my head. And it's not too bad. As you can see, it's got the nice controls here. And right here, alright, I haven't got this off my head. This is the cut off right here. You just hold this down and it cuts the engine off. It goes into neutral so your kid can have fun revving it. But you do have to do a lot of work to these to make them last a while. Because these are Chinese engines and they don't last forever unless you take care of them. One, don't sit there and idle for a long, long time. Because if you do that, it's going to overheat your engine. And then it just won't be good anymore. Second, change your oil and don't overheat it. I usually change my oil about once per month. I know that's a lot, but that's because I put a lot of hours into this. And these stock sprockets tend to strip out if you do a lot of wheelies. As you can see, mine's missing some teeth right here. There's hardly any tooth there. I don't think you can see, but it's shot. But there's still some teeth. It's just two of them that are missing, so it still grabs on good. Still moves like brand new. Works perfectly fine. These sprockets tend to rattle and shake. It's not the bolt being loose. It's just the way these sprockets are. But yeah, when junk gets tangled up in there, pull it out. It's gonna mess up your whole chain system, and then it's all gonna rust the chain out and mess it up. Right here's the chain tensioner. Right here on both sides, there's a chain tensioner. My chain is almost fully extended out, but it's starting to not stretch anymore. Stretching is starting to stop. I still have a little bit to go. As you can see, I still have quite a ways to go. Not too much though. It's almost completely extended out. But that's easy to fix. You just take some Usually you could just take some links out of the chain, and that usually fixes it. Alright, make sure to clean your cooling fins too, because if not, all the heat is going to stay trapped in there, and then it's going to overheat your engine. And third, just don't rev them too high, because you want your engine to last. Now, right here's the gear shifting map. This is a 4-speed engine. Focus. There. This is a 4-speed engine. So, you shift up. So it's, this pattern is 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you shift back down to neutral, shift all the way back down. And kick it over and give it a little bit of gas. Don't gun it, because you got to make sure. Alright, it's in neutral. These do have a lot of compression, but once the engines break in, they will lose a tad bit of compression because everything's broken. But it has good compression. You might think when you kick it over after having it for about a year, it seems like it barely has any compression. But trust me, it has a great compression, because wore out, the engine wore out, I can just set my foot right here like this, and the engine will turn over easily. But as you can see, it's not. You have to kind of jolt a little bit. Make sure to lube these up. These do get squeaky and annoying. But yeah, make sure to check your oil every time before you ride it, which I do that. And right there's the CDI box in case you ever have troubles, which I've replaced this CDI box like 2 times. I'm just kidding. I've never replaced this CDI box. It's stuck. Wow, I mean, CDI boxes don't go bad for a long time. They last forever. This CDI box really isn't bad. It's normal for a CDI box. It's not performance CDI box. I don't want a performance. I want to leave this thing stock. It's better to leave it stock so that way you don't do any harm to the engine. The only modifications you could do is maybe change sprocket sizes or whatever. And if you feel that your brakes are kind of tight, like really loose, and the thing bottoms out, right here is the thing to bleed your brakes. Same with the front, which my front calipers fell off before. Make sure to keep all your bolts tight before you ride. Now, one problem I've had with this is the front brake lever snaps. The front brake levers snap easily. As you can see, this is my second brake lever. You can lose these easily. And up here, your mount, focus. It's the best it'll focus. That comes. This part here, there it goes. This part here, it breaks. Focus. But other than that, let's give it a little start up here. And here's a tire. This is, if you get this bike from Mr. Holshots in Polka, it only costs about $800. That's what I got this for, $800. It's not too bad. And he'll give you tips. He knows a lot about these. He'll give you tips. Alright, well, let's get a cold start in. Don't act like me and not turn the choke on. There's the choke right there. This turns the gasoline on. Right now it's off. You turn it this way to turn it on. Now, as you can see, it's bogging a little bit because it needs to warm. the choke off, and these engines rev pretty high. Alright. It sounds like my chain thing is shaking everywhere. I guess it needs replaced. Oh yeah. Yeah, look at that. That's shot. So my chain is shot too. Which isn't help. Now these chains, I believe, are 40 chains, 420, I believe. I don't know. Right here, make sure to keep these lubed up and stuff. I lube these with chain lube just because it works just the same as any other type of lube. Now make sure to replace your sprocket, or else you're gonna wear this whole thing out like mine is. I mean, look at that. It's not what you want, but it'll be fine. These chains don't cost a whole lot. If your chain comes off and gets jammed in there, this cover is really easy to take off, get to the flywheel. Take this cover off and you can get to the flywheel easily. Now, when you have your air filter, make sure it's not like mine, where it needs pushed forward, which I'm doing that with mine right now, pushing it forward. There we go. That's better. These filters will start to rip. Mine is already starting to rip, and make sure to turn your fuel off every time before you ride. And then this way, is reserve, but reserve does nothing with this type of bike. With these pit bikes, reserve does nothing. Absolutely nothing. So just don't fall in love with reserve, because it does nothing. And this fuel shutoff, the fender does hit it a little bit, but other than that, it's fine. Alright, here's the review. Alright, and that's it. Bye.